everybody, crafting journey here. It's hump day. Mike. Yep. Mike. Hump day, Wednesday, July the 14th, 2021. Yes. Still haven't found that color for my painting, but we're in the home stretch. So what I did yesterday, I just took all 4 of these things off. This is always what I do at the end. We go cross country at the end, yes. And if you're new to diamond painting, cross country means where you just, you don't paint in sections. You just paint one color and you just go all over the place, yeah. If you've ever cross-stitched cross country, yeah. So let me just turn it around and show you. So today's the 14th. I might finish it tomorrow, probably not. It may be the 16th or the 17th, but I think I did pretty good, you know. So I am working on this area here. The guy, isn't he cool looking? He's pretty cool looking, that guy. And it's gonna be beautiful at the end. Yes. So we're still filling it in, and look who's coming to visit us. Hi there, Pearl. What you doing, baby girl? What you doing? Oh, my back hurts today. God willing, I will start physical therapy tomorrow. Yes. Was supposed to start it last week, but what happened? Oh, I had those bad headaches last week. That was just a couple days, so I think that may have been sinuses, yeah. So, here's an update on the dog. Took her to the vet yesterday. So, she does have ringworm, yes. And to my surprise, the vet said, likely from the cats, the kittens, that their fur carries the fungus, the ringworm from it, and they would be asymptomatic. She says if they become symptomatic, then we would have to treat them, but she says they're generally asymptomatic. So I know, some questions came up from friends, whether I should be bathing these kittens every few days. So, that's going to be fun. They're not going to like that. Although last night I filled up the tub so I could take a nice hot bath, and, I'm relaxing in there, and I look, and on the corner of the tub is Pearl. And I'm like, oh man, if she falls in, she is going to be so upset with herself. So anyway. Yeah, so I'm going to call the vet and see if that is something I'm supposed to be doing, like washing them, bathing them every few days. So I got medicine for Tootsie, and the 4 pills that I have to give her once a day. So last night, what I did was I crushed them up, and I had made some macaroni and cheese, so I just took a few scoops of that, and mixed in with the mac and cheese, and she just gulped it down. So it was none the wiser, yay. So yes, that drama, kittens are expensive, guys. They don't tell you that when they tell you to adopt from the shelters or whatever. Anyway, so we're doing that. So I washed all of my linen. I washed all the dog and kitty linen, because they've got blankets and stuff that they lay on, and so I washed all that, hot water. The vet said I should clean my carpet, so I have a carpet cleaner, so I'm going to do that this weekend, because I did nothing else to do this weekend, right? Nothing, not at all. No plans. Actually, I didn't have any plans. I want to craft. That's what I want to do. Yes. So tonight is Craft with Me Wednesday. We're gonna do some loom knitting tonight. Yes. I finally finished the brim of this hat, and it's where I had to use a true knit stitch I had never used before. So, and I picked the largest size of this hat. I don't know why, which was 90 pegs, 90 something pegs, 98 pegs. I don't remember. It was all the pegs on the Flexi Loom Skinny. So it took me a good hot minute to do this. So I finished the brim. Now the easy part starts, the hat part, which is a 4-row pattern. 2 of those rows are knit, knitting pattern, knits. So that should go a little quicker, but and the hat is in this beautiful bubble gum pink color. It's really cute yarn that I'm using. So that'll be tonight at 6 p.m. Central. My special guest will be Cheryl Katz. She doesn't usually show her face, but that's okay. We still love her. A lot of people don't show their face. I'm like one of the few that show my face because, whatever. It's me. You get what you get. So tune in. That'll be fun, interesting. See if I can pick up that pattern. She's just going to be there to kind of help me out if I, if I choke and if I'm like I'm not getting it, But usually, and I knock on wood, I say usually, I can pick up a pattern pretty quickly. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I forget the name of the stitch that I'm going to be doing. Yeah, I'm going to have to look that up. Let me see if it's in my email. I could tell you what the name of the stitch is. She sent me the pattern again. Oh my God, I'm so tired. I was up late. I'm reading that gosh darn book and it's getting so good. It really, oh, it's an Edelweiss, a reverse Edelweiss stitch. Yeah. Reverse. So the part that I'm going to be working on is knit 1, knit 2, 2 off, purl 2 off in the same stitch. Yeah. I'm going to watch the video first today because I watched it before and I thought, oh, that's not difficult. It just reads more difficult than it actually is. I mean, like if you were reading this pattern, you'd be gone. No, what's next? You'd be on to the next page. So we're going to do that. We're going to get through it. We're going to do it. And I have another loom project that I haven't worked on in a while. I'll show you, where that is. If I get it out, maybe I'll work on it. And it's just a regular knit stitch. I just had put it because I had finished so much of it. Like I had this hat almost finished and there was like a huge mistake in it, so I frogged out the whole thing because I just love this yarn. I didn't want to waste the yarn, and I wanted to. I have this. I'm talking a mile a minute. Anyway, I'll slow down. For those of you not awake yet, I have this quirk where things have to be perfect. If I see something that's like, I'll want to redo it. In the hat that I'm going to work on tonight, there is a mistake, but I left it because at this point I was not going to go back and frog this out. It's not that noticeable. It'll be fine. It's on the brim. If you flip up the brim, you'll never see it. I'm not worried about it. And this is not one that I'm going to sell. It'll just, this is just to see if I can do this and what it'll look like. And if I really like it, it just took so much time to do the brim. I don't know if I'll want to do it again, but we'll see. If I really love it, I might do it again. Pearl is sitting over this way on top of this little bench that I have, that little seat that when Malia comes and joins me, she sits in, but she's over there and she's just, what is she looking at? She's just kind of surveying her environment. Looks like she's getting ready to fall asleep. I don't know where Pearl, or that's Pearl, where's Stitch? more stitches. Anyhow, wow. This is the day I've been waiting for. A day I can really get behind. National Macaroni and Cheese Day. Yes, July 14th is Macaroni and Cheese Day. It's first of all, it's like America's favorite comfort food. Like, who doesn't want a fresh baked homemade macaroni and cheese? Oh my God. And I make a pretty good one myself. But I've been to I used to visit this family that I was friends with in Oklahoma City, and the husband used to make this macaroni and cheese when we would come over for dinner. That was to die for. Oh, and you can add things to it. It's probably one of the simplest dishes for people that aren't great cooks that they can make. You can do it out of the box. Kraft macaroni and cheese. I always have a box of it in the cupboard. It came in very handy last night when I had to give the dog the pills, and I was grateful. I looked for those pill pockets, which is totally off topic here, like at the dollar store, but they didn't have them. So I'm gonna, the macaroni and cheese is working, so I don't think I need to buy pill pockets anyway. But man, if I had to give the kittens 4 pills, we'd be talking a different story. I'd probably have to crush it up and put it in their wet food. They are loving this wet food. Okay, macaroni and cheese. Back to macaroni and cheese. I went to this restaurant in Miami, North Miami Beach. Was it Wolfgang Puck's restaurant? I want to say. Anyway, lobster macaroni and cheese. What? Yeah. I don't like lobster, so I didn't try it. But the people at the table were like dying over this lobster macaroni and cheese. So that's like this really cool delicacy. You can also like bread it and fry it. Now, I have not tried that. I haven't tried to cook it, nor have I ever eaten it. But it sounds delicious. I mean, I would give it a try if someone made it and I was there. Yeah. I'm doing the color blocking on this the white color blocking here. There's a lot of white in here, which I was very grateful for because it made this painting go so much quicker. My only regret is that I wish, like, inside the bunny ears here, that I had done like a white AB of some kind. I don't know. It's not too late to take it. I don't know. I'd have to take all that out. First of all, I don't even know if I have a white AB. So, never mind. But you know what I want to do? I want to go on to DP with Sparklers, which is Tina Burney's shop. And I would like to check out those square sparklers, or not sparklers for squares, but she actually has square ABs now. So I want to check those out for my next square painting. And, after doing this round, it was nice to have a break and do rounds, but I think I kind of like squares better. I really do. I just like the way that they fit together, and, I don't know. I like my squares. I never thought I would say that I prefer squares. I never thought you'd hear those words come out of my mouth, but I do prefer squares. Now, most of the ones up here are, well, it's probably half and half. I'm going to say on my Alice wall, probably half and half square, half round. Yeah. The Hannah Lynn Alice was square, and boy did that turn out gorgeous. That is probably the largest square painting I've ever done. And It took me a little hot minute, but we're going to do some really large ones next year when we do landscapes. Hi, honey. You want to come visit? Look who's coming to visit us. Hello. You're not supposed to be on the diamond painting. No, come here. What are you doing? Yeah, we don't climb on the diamond painting. No. Oh, look, there's Tootsie. Yes, there. Hi, Tootsie. Hi, Tootsie. Oh, you're jealous. You're so jealous. I'm so jealous. Hi, baby. Where's your brother, Stitch? Where did Stitch go? Huh? You just want to lay right there, huh? See, I'm happy. I'm happy. I think they hate it when I have to go to work, and I have to go to the office today. Okay, sweetie, you gotta get down. Yeah, you got to get down. Hi. Mrs. Blue Eyes. Yeah, you got... Oh, now she's comfy. She usually wants to get down and play. Okay, why don't you go down and play with Tootsie? Here, you play with her, okay? Okay, play with her. Yeah, chase her away, yeah. He's good at that. My 2 girls, 3 women and 1 male in the house. Stitch is outnumbered. That's funny. So I figured out, I went back and I looked for the kitten's birth date, and I figured out that Stitch is 4 months old and Pearl is 3 months old. They were born 3 weeks apart. Hi, baby. What? What is going on, huh? Oh, you just need... Pearl's gonna hide over there, huh? Okay. You can't get to her there, can you? Okay. All right. Yes, Mommy loves you. She just has to make sure that I'm still in love with her. She's so jealous. Oh, I love my dogs and animals. I love my animals. I heard Stitch. Anyway. Let's do Judge, Jury, and Journey. Day 2 of the Joshua Aide murder trial. Now, we get some really cool body cam footage here, so stay tuned. So the first 3 people on the stand are neighbors. So I'm sure they were just thrilled to have to come to court. In Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Was it Wisconsin? Yes, Wisconsin. I don't want to get that wrong. We do not want to offend the Oshkosh, Wisconsin people. So the first person is this gentleman who he lives 2 houses down and then across the street. And he testified that he was in his home. It was like early evening and he was puzzling with his wife. And I'm like, oh, a man after my own heart. He's puzzling with his wife on a Tuesday night. That's pretty cool. Yeah. And they hear 3 loud pops. He couldn't remember how far apart the pops were, which was something the defense kept asking. But 3 loud pops. He thought it was fireworks. Didn't really do it. He must have called 911, which is how they figured out his name. So he just thought it's fireworks. It's August 4th, just a few weeks after 4th of July. People sometimes still are doing the fireworks. You never know. So then the second neighbor was a woman who they showed a picture of the home, and there's a common driveway, and then there's a home on one side of the driveway, a home on the other side of the driveway. So she was right across the driveway from the home of this one of the victims, Rebecca, where all this took place. She hears fireworks. She hears what she thinks is fireworks. She doesn't leave her house because she has been exposed to COVID and she is quarantined, so she's not allowed to leave her house. So she looks out the window. she sees the defendant in the driveway standing near this toolbox. And so she was able to identify the defendant. That's all she sees. She doesn't see any of the victims or nothing like that, but she sees that defendant. Then we have the third neighbor. Now this is bizarre. He is like 2 houses down the other way, same side of the street. He's sitting in his recliner. He's watching TV, and all of a sudden this man walks into his kitchen screaming, "I've just been shot, I need some help." And he said the guy's holding his face and there's blood everywhere, and he's like stunned. First of all, he didn't know this guy, and the guy just walks into his kitchen. So he says, "I shoot him out the door." You did what? Those were his exact words. "I shoot him out the door." Because, I didn't know who he was, so he did call 911, and then he shoot him. I think he called 911 and then shoot him out the door. But, he got blood all over his kitchen and his driveway, and then, just shoot him out the door. So the next thing we hear is from the first officer on the scene. Now he's got body cam. Now this is really interesting. So he pulls up to the scene, and he pulls up to the address where he gets the phone call from, which is the guy who, where the man just walked into his kitchen. So he pulls up to that house. So now he's 2 houses down on the same side of the street, the police officer. So you see him, he's out of his vehicle. You see him walking towards the house, and then you can see down the sidewalk, this man is like flagging him down, and comes walking towards him, and he's got blood all over his face, and he's holding his face, and he's like, down here, so and you could see this officer's hesitation, because now he knows that he's arrived at a shooting, and he's like, he gets on dispatch, and he's like he doesn't know where the shooter is. He doesn't know what he's walking into. So he waits till someone else gets there. So the backup gets there. It didn't take long. So they were all on their way anyway. So they approach the scene, and now the second officer takes the stand. Another body cam, and you see him walking up to where there's these 2 vehicles in the driveway where they were working. You see the red toolbox, and next to the red toolbox there's a man lying dead. He's been shot in the head, and he's kind of leaning into the toolbox. And you see the officer checking his pulse, and he says, he's dead. But then you hear this woman screaming, "Help me, help me." So she was in a different area. She was in behind the house in a, separate garage that was an unattached garage. I guess that's what I want to say. She was out there. So they find her. They see that she's also been shot in the head. But she's talking, and so they get both of them treatment, and one of them tries to administer aid while another one stands guard, because still they don't know where this shooter is. They have no idea where the shooter is, which I thought was really interesting. So they both, they get medical care for the 2 people that were all, the first guy that was holding his head, and this woman who we now know as Rebecca. They get rushed to the hospital, but there is this man dead on the scene, and I think we'll learn later that this is Rebecca's father. So the next witness is the medical examiner, and I gotta tell you, sometimes I feel old when I'm watching these people, because Lord, he looked like he was 12. I'm like, wow, when did you graduate? Last year? very young medical examiner. Anyway, he said that the cause of death was a gunshot wound to the head. It entered just above the left ear, goes through the occipital bone. It damaged the brain structures. That he could tell based on the residue of the gunshot that the shooter was probably 5 to 6 feet away, with this type of handgun. That he had abrasions on his face and hands, all consistent with him falling to the ground after he's been shot. So, and I have this inkling that the defense is going to say that abrasions on his hand were from some sort of altercation that may have been going on. But the medical examiner was pretty clear that no, these were not consistent with an altercation. They were consistent with him having fallen. But, I don't know. Anyway. Because one of the questions that was asked of the neighbors was, did you hear any commotion, like any, before the shots, did you hear anybody quarreling or, arguing or any kind of thing that was going on? And they said no, it was just a nice peaceful evening, nothing going on until they hear the gunshots or what they think is fireworks. So that is most of day one. I think they're going to put on maybe one more witness, and then I'll get into day two today as well. So interesting case. I don't know how this guy's going to defend himself, but everybody's entitled to a trial, right? I believe we're going to hear from the two victims as well, both of whom survived their gunshot wounds to the head. Wow. Okie dokie, I gotta go to work today. Gotta go to work, work. Gotta go to work. However, my boss is working from home today, so I am not in a rush to get to work. I never am anyway. So, oh my. So I was in such a mood yesterday because here's what happens. I call the insurance company, the Nationwide, which was the insurance carrier for the other driver. She says that, and I said, I need to set up a rental car because I'm having the car repaired today. I need to be dropping it off. And he couldn't find my claim. What's the claim number? I said, you never gave me a claim number. Of course we gave you a claim number. No, you never gave me a claim number. I'm telling you, you didn't give me a claim number. I said, well, I have the estimate here. And I was told by Nationwide that this has been approved and that I could go ahead and make the appointment. And so he said, well, let me see that estimate. He goes, the claim number would be on the estimate. I said, no, it's blank. So he says, send me the estimate. Give me a few minutes to research this. I'll call you back. So he calls me back a few minutes later and he says, oh, you have a different type of claim. That's why I couldn't find you. This is an E&S claim, which I have no idea what that is. I'm going to have to ask Tia. She probably knows what an E&S claim is, because he just kind of said, oh, it's just a different kind of policy. I don't know. I understood none of what he was saying. So I don't do insurance. I really don't. So he says, no, you cannot have the car repaired yet. We have to get this estimate approved. I said, I was told it was approved. No, it wasn't approved. He says, that shop has authority to approve certain claims, but not this one. Okay. So now he doesn't have the authority to do it. He's got to send it to somebody else. But he says I'll make sure I put the rental car code in there for you. I'm like, yeah, okay, whatever. Now, I don't think I mentioned it, but the estimate was $2,800 worth of damage. $2,800. So if this had been through my own company, it would have cost me $500, the deductible. So I am now waiting for them to approve the estimate. So I was really frustrated yesterday, really, between finding out my dog has ringworms caused by the cats, and I've got to do all this stuff to my house to keep it clean, and or not keep it clean, but sterilize it, so to speak. I just did not have a good day yesterday. I was like, yeah. It was one of those anxiety. And it's amazing how that anxiety comes on. Just as soon as I hung up from that adjuster, I was like my heart was racing, and I was like so angry, and I could just the whole day was just like caving in on me. I was just like, it just throws you off. But I do have something I could take for that, and I took it and calmed myself down. I came in here and diamond painted, talked to Mickey, calmed down. But anyway, life. All right, let's do this day in history. There wasn't not a lot that I wanted to talk about anyhow. So let's see what we can come up with for this day in history. Okay, Hulk Hogan, July 14th in 1994. There's a trial going on about steroid usage in the World Championship Wrestling arena or group. This guy Vince McMahon is on trial for it's a trial relating to the use of steroids in wrestling. He's on trial. And so Hulk Hogan gets on the stand and testifies, yes, I used steroids, but I never got or sold, or this guy McMahon never provided me with any steroids. That's not where I got my steroids. Now, Hulk Hogan was given immunity to testify against this guy, and he doesn't. He admits usage, but then he says, no, I didn't get them from this guy. So the guy is found not guilty, and Hulk Hogan goes free because he had immunity to testify. But now the world knows that, yes, in this arena of wrestling, they're using steroids. Duh. Yeah. Oh my goodness, so funny. Some people are really into that wrestling. I just Now I like to watch real wrestling, like the kind they do, like my grandson would do in high school. He was a really good wrestler. I enjoy watching that kind of wrestling, but this fake stuff, this nonsense that they do, it's all choreographed, so to speak. And if they want to use steroids, who cares? It's not really a sport. It's just entertainment. Anyway, I digress. Yes. Anything else happening interesting in history? License to Kill, James Bond, July 14th, 1989. It comes into the theaters. 17th James Bond in the series, starred Timothy Dalton. Now, I didn't remember that Timothy Dalton played James Bond. Oh, interesting. And the Department of Treasury on July 14th, 1969. And this is a real problem for me, what happens here. They discontinue the printing of $500 bills, $1,000 bills, $5,000 bills, and $10,000 bills. Now, how am I going to get paid? Nobody was using them, so they just said, we're going to get rid of them. Okay. Which is why in the last trial, because I always wondered, why hundreds? Why stacks of hundreds? As you recall in that last murder trial, the murder for hire, that was a couple trials back. It was a murder for hire, and the two men that committed the murder were paid in stacks of $100 bills. Well, this is why they don't make $500 bills anymore, or $1,000 bills, or $5,000 bills. So they had to pay them in hundreds. Yeah, who knew? The more you know. Anyway, that's the show for today, guys. So I hope to see you in tonight's live, 6 p.m. Central. Yes, it's loom knitting. If you don't like loom knitting, go ahead and come to the live, because we always have fun anyway. And you get to watch me, learning new things, learning new crafts. Well, the craft is not new, but I'm learning a new stitch. The reverse Edelweiss. It sounds like a dive, I'll give her a 10.5 on that stitch. I don't know. I know the Olympics is coming up, and I'm getting excited. I'm so excited. I just can't hide it. Synchronized swimming, that's my favorite, but they don't call it synchronized swimming anymore.